All right. We good on audio? You didn't even check. All right. All praise to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, the creator of heaven and earth. We good? We good? All right. All right. All right. Shalom, everybody. Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Happy Sabbath. We were able to get on today, had a little technical difficulties, but all praise to the Most High. We able to get on, get it together. Hope everybody's having a good Sabbath thus far. And I know it's good. If you ain't have to work, it's all good. That's what makes this Sabbath beautiful. So let's open up with the reading of the law real quick, since we running late. Today's reading of the law is Leviticus chapter 20.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, starting in verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given of his seed unto Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name. And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth of his seed unto Molech, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man and against his family, and I will cut him off, and all that go a whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Molech from among their people. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut him off from among his people. Sanctify yourselves therefore, and be holy, for I am the Lord your God. And ye shall keep my statutes and do them. I am the Lord who sanctify you. For everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother, his blood shall be upon him. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. And the man that lieth with his father's wife hath uncovered his father's nakedness. Both of them shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. Their blood shall be upon them. A man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman. Both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. If a man take a wife and her mother, it is witness. They shall be burnt with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness among you. If a man lie with a beast, he shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. If a woman approach unto any beast and lie down thereto, thou shalt kill the woman and the beast. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. And if a man shall take his sister's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she see his nakedness, is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. He hath uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear iniquity. And if a man shall lie with a woman having her sickness, and shall uncover her nakedness, he hath discovered her fountain, and she hath uncovered the fountain of her blood, and both of them shall be cut off from among their people. And thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, nor of thy father's sister, for he uncovered his near kin. They shall bear their iniquity. And if a man shall lie with his uncle's wife, he hath uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They shall bear their sin. They shall die childless. If a man shall take his brother's wife, it is an unclean thing. He hath uncovered his brother's nakedness. They shall be childless. Ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and my judgments and do them, that the land whither I bring you to dwell therein, spew you not out. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them.
Okay, so that's the reading of the law. Knows that chapter dealt with the fornication laws. Leviticus chapter 21 through 23. So all praise to the Most High. Once again, shalom to everybody. Shalom to everybody that's online. So let's get right into it. Let's put the title up there. Today we're going to talk about the white supremacy in black people. The white supremacy in black people. So today's lesson we will discuss what is white supremacy and the black people that push it. The type of black people that's pushing white supremacy. What we probably don't realize is we seeing black people push white supremacy all day, every day. And they don't even know it. They don't even know that they are promoting white supremacy in the way they live their life, the things they celebrate, how they act. They are promoting white supremacy and don't even know it. And that's what we gonna talk about today. Because we go look at it and we go dissect, especially today with what's going on. You got to be able to dissect white supremacy. You got to know when you're getting bamboozled. Our people don't know it. The main thing that's got our people in confusion is the election. We don't hear these people's names for 4 years. It's like the Olympics. It's like the Olympics. We don't hear nothing about no damn Corey Bush, Wesley, what's his name? Wesley Bell, Kamala Harris. I forgot she was the vice president. I ain't heard her say nothing. Biden tripping and falling up the steps. We don't know what they've been doing the last 3 or 4 years until they ready to start campaigning. And then they trying to get the black vote. Camilla. They been dragging her. Camilla, whatever her damn name is. They been dragging her. She expect to win the election in 90 days. They so desperate. They gave this woman 90 days to try to beat Trump. The assassination survivor. And don't even know they are pushing white supremacy, man. So we gonna talk about all that today. First, let's get the definition of white supremacy. So let's share that out. We just go pull up a basic Wikipedia definition. So read that first paragraph, first 2 paragraphs.
White supremacy is the belief that white people are superior to those of other races and thus should dominate them. The belief favors the maintenance and defense of any power or privilege held by white people. White supremacy has roots in now discredited doctrine of scientific racism.
So that scientific racism was when they try to use science to say that they are better than us. How the brains and the shape of the skulls and all that stuff, they call it racial biology. Go ahead.
And was a key justification for European Colonism.
It said that was a key justification. Was white supremacy was a key justification. That's how they justified going around the world and conquering it. Say we superior. Yeah, we it's like we lucky to be our slaves because say y'all should be lucky. Y'all are lucky to be our slaves because we superior to y'all. Go to the second paragraph.
As a political ideology,
So now it's even a political ideology. Go ahead.
it imposes and maintains cultural, social, political, historical, or institutional domination by white people and non-white supporters.
Now I wanted to draw in on there. You where I say non-white supporters, meaning white supremacy is not just for white people. Not the only ones that support it. Non-white people support it as well. Go ahead.
In the past, this ideology had been put into effect through socioeconomic and legal structures, such as the Atlantic slave trade.
So the slave trade, white supremacy. Go ahead.
Colonial labor and social practices, the scramble of Africa, Jim Crow laws.
No, Jim Crow laws, white supremacy. Go ahead.
In the United States, the activities of the Native Land Court in New Zealand, the White Australia policies in the White Australia policies from the 1890s to the mid 1970s, and apartheid in South Africa. This ideology is also today present among neo-Confederates.
It said this is still going, so it's letting us know that white supremacy is still going on. Scroll down a little bit. All right, so now you see you got Donald Trump in there. White supremacy. You look at white supremacy, they got Donald Trump in there. Look how you smiling. Damn. All right. Stop sharing that. All right. Let's go to that first video. So now we go look at a quick video. What is white supremacy? Let's look at how they explain. Put the fair use up there. Fair use. No copyright infringements.
What is white supremacy?
Probably was sharing out. Put us. Yeah, all right, we good.
What is white supremacy? White supremacy exists when white culture has more value than other cultures. It exists when white people have a larger share of power and status because of the value society has placed on their skin color. Many people associate white supremacy with the Ku Klux Klan, slavery, and genocide, which is true, but it's not always that obvious. When you look closely, you see white supremacy woven throughout our culture where you might not expect it, in healthcare, education, employment, immigration, food access, and more. You see it in lending policies that...
It said that white supremacy can exist in places you won't even expect it. Healthcare, education, food access, hospital, like all types of stuff. Go ahead.
Result in Black people being denied a mortgage. Or
Wind it a little bit. 5 seconds.
Always that obvious. When you look closely, you see white supremacy woven throughout our culture where you might not expect it, in healthcare, education, employment, immigration, food access, and more. You see it in lending policies that result in Black people being denied a mortgage, or in company policies that compel non-white employees to change their hair to be considered professional, or in crime statistics which show white people getting softer sentences for the exact same crime as BIPOC. Once we are aware of white supremacy in our world today, we must work together to dismantle it so all people can be represented, valued, and safe.
All right. Look at that. Look at Esau telling the truth in a video. So we see that white supremacy can exist anywhere. It's there when we don't even expect it. It's there when we don't even expect it. So now I want to go to Google. I want to get one more definition. Go to Google and type in white supremacy. Zoom in on that. Yeah, share that out and let's read that.
White supremacy.
Read that.
The belief that white people constitute a superior race and should therefore dominate society, typically to the exclusion or detriment of other racial and ethnic groups.
So we don't, or me personally, I don't have a problem with them thinking they are the superior race. Every race should think that. Where they go wrong at is where it said it's the detriment to other races. That's where white supremacy is. We don't care that they believe they're the superior race. We don't care about that. It's when they won't leave us alone to let us do what we got to do. Like Black Wall Street, we was doing good without them. We had our own everything. What they do, bomb us. They can't just let us be. They have to use crafty counsel and systematic ways where they oppress us. They use oppression and robbery with their white supremacy. That's where they go wrong at, and that's what we go look at today, where they use systematic ways to oppress us and then say that's like you, let's say, give me a sport, basketball. That's like you telling somebody I'm better than everybody in basketball, and every time you play, you cheat. How you better than me, and every time you do something, you cheat? I'm the better spades player. Every time you play, you cheating.
Emotional damage.
That's what white supremacy is. That's white supremacy. How you the superior race, but everything you do, you cheat? That's not superior at all. That's called a smoke bomb. That's a smoke bomb, and that's what white supremacy is. So let's get more into it. Go to Judith chapter 5. Because what happened was so-called white people, they found out how to rule the longest. That's why they've been ruling since the Greek captivity. They've been in rulership. Why? Because they found the keys, the answer to keep us down. They found the answer to keep themselves in power. Because think about it. Think about it. In other captivities, the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, give me another one, the Persian Mede captivity, the Israelites knew who they were. We had our nationality. They allowed us to keep our laws, serve our God to a certain extent. We knew that we was the Israelites. So when we knew that when we knew who we were, and we knew that we were the true Israelites, we were always able to pray to the correct God. And when we know who we are and we know who our God is, we can pray to the correct God and get out of sin as a nation. And then that allowed us to what? To overcome that captivity. We always went right back to sin and got into another captivity. But it's the fact that they let us know, they let us keep our nationality. You know what Esau did? The Greek white supremacy did? They said, you know what? We gonna take their nationality. We gonna take their identity. We gonna hide their identity. So now we don't know who our God is. We praying to every God, every false God under the heaven, and thinking we gonna get out of captivity. They knew that. So let's go to Judah 5 and verse 20.
The book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people.
You see that? So she's saying if there be any error against the Israelites, go ahead.
And they sin against their God.
And they sin against the Most High, go ahead.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
You see that? It said if they sin against their God, then we gonna know that this is gonna be the end of them. God's not gonna fight for them. Go ahead.
And let us go up, and we shall uncover them.
Overcover them. He said, let us go up. If they got sin in them, we can overcome them. Go ahead.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But if there is no sin in their nation, go ahead.
Let my Lord now pass by.
Leave them alone. This is what Esau found out. Go ahead.
Lest their Lord defend them.
Because if there's no sin, their God is going to defend them. Their God is going to fight for them. Go ahead.
And their God before them. And we become a reproach before all the world.
And we go come a laughing stock before all the world. So they knew the secret to, remember it said, white supremacy is the detriment to other races. So guess what? They have to do what? If they want to keep ruling over us, they have to keep us in what? Sin. They have to keep us in sin. That's the point of white supremacy as far as when it comes to the Israelites, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If they want to keep their rulership, they got to keep us in sin. What's the best way to keep us in sin? They don't even know if they in sin. They don't even know what sins they're in. Because we tell them the law is done away with. We tell them white Jesus forgive you for anything. So guess what? That keep us in sin and they can rule over us because God is not going to fight for us. We can't beat Esau without God. Don't even let these black mercenaries, the Black Panther wannabes, thinking they finna meet up somewhere with their guns and nah, you ain't got more bullets than Esau. You got to get the Most High on your side if you even want a chance. You think they been ruling since the Greek captivity? That's not for no reason. They know what they doing. They know what they doing. Go to 1 Maccabees 1. So now we looking at how are they able to have this white supremacy for so long? 1 Maccabees 1 and 1.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chedm, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
So this is when this is when the Greeks got the power from the Persians and the Medes. This is when they came into power. This is when the so-called Edomites or white supremacy, they're coming into power here with Alexander the Great. Now jump to verse 9.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 9. And after his death,
So after Alexander the Great died, go ahead.
they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
You see that? It said evils was multiplied. When they got power, evils multiplied in the earth. When they got that, when it was their time to rule, they took down Darius. You know, there's no more Nebuchadnezzar, no more of the big powerhouses. Now it's just the Greeks. They in power. Let's see how. Jump to verse. Go to 2 Maccabees, chapter 6. Remember, it said that if we keep them in sin, their God won't fight for them. 2 Maccabees 6 and 1.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
So it said, you see that? He trying to compel them to leave the laws of their fathers. Leave that law alone. Go ahead.
And not to live after the laws of God.
Because they knew what? If they in sin, we can rule over them. We won't have to fight God to rule over them. Remember, they don't want no dealings with God. They remember our forefathers, we were famous at this time. They didn't heard about Egypt. They didn't heard about the other captivities, the other wars that God helped us win. So we were famous. So they knew, dang. They also knew we was the best slaves too. We was the best slaves. Think about it. You got the people of God in slavery. Guess what? Who can make better slaves than the people of God? That's why everybody who had us in slavery ruled the world. Everybody who had us in slavery ruled the earth. Think about it. Look at the history of the Bible. Wherever we was in captivity in, that's who ruled the earth. So we was famous, and they knew. So, but the Greeks figured it out. We got to keep them in sin to stay ruling over them, AKA white supremacy. Jump to verse. Let me see what I want. Verse 6.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
It was illegal to keep the Sabbath holy. Remember, he said, as long as they are in sin, we can rule over them. So what they had to do, they made it illegal. They made the laws of God illegal. If that ain't the damn devil, what is? They made the laws of God illegal. It said, read that part again.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts.
Couldn't keep the ancient feasts, the feast days. Go ahead.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
You couldn't even call yourself a Jew. You couldn't even call yourself an Israelite. It was illegal to call yourself an Israelite. So they figured out, you know what? We're going to take their identity. We go take the identity. That's how you keep them in sin. That's the secret to keep them in sin. Take their identity. Go to Jeremiah 17 and 4. That's the secret that the Greeks found out. That's the secret to white supremacy. Keep the people of God without their identity. That will what? Keep them in sin. Think about it. How many people y'all didn't talk to, you trying to tell them just about the dietary laws? It's a sin to eat pork. We're not supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. And somebody said, that was for the Jews. And you talking to your brother, your sister, your uncle. It's like, boy, who the Jews then? It's you. But they are under white supremacy. They'll flat out tell you, oh, them laws for the Jews today. We the Gentiles. That's how you keep the Jews in sin. Take their identity from them. Jeremiah 17:4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
He said you was going to lose your heritage and serve your enemies. Go ahead.
And the land which thou shalt now knowest not.
That you know not. Go ahead.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
So you see that it was prophesied that we was going to lose our identity. We was going to lose our heritage, which was the laws of God. He said we was going to lose it because that's the key to keeping us in sin. That's the key to keeping us under white supremacy. Go to Psalms 83. We go hit verse 2.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 2. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So this is that crafty counsel. This is the counsel where, you know, to make the Israelites lose their identity. This is that crafty counsel. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
You see that? Let us cut them off from being a nation. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
So this talking about the other nations. Remember, it said non-white supporters. Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacle of Edom.
So you think it's a coincidence that Edom was named first? Edom is the so-called white race. So it said these are the people that are in cahoots to make y'all forget y'all identity. It said the tabernacles of Edom, go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
Go ahead.
Of Moab and the Hagarites.
So it's going to list all them. We ain't going to read all of them. Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. Who said.
So this is what they said. Go ahead.
Let us take to ourselves the house of God.
It say, let us take to ourselves the houses of God. Go ahead.
In possession.
In possession. As slaves. The houses of God. Because remember, we are the houses of God, the body. It said, let us take the houses of God in possession as slaves. This is the conspiracy. This is white supremacy in the Bible. Go to 1 Maccabees 1. Now go back to 1 Maccabees 1. Guess what? They needed help though. Remember, it said non-white supporters. So we got all the other nations here that's helping them. Guess who else helped them? 1 Maccabees 1 and 11.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
So these wicked men are wicked Israelites. It say wicked men. Go ahead.
That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So it said, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men. So guess what? They had to have coons help them. They had to have white supremacy in Israelites. White supremacy in black people. Jump to verse 43.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So it said many of the Israelites, they joined the heathens. They joined their religion. They said, yeah, we're going to leave out the religion of our God, the God of our forefathers, and joined with the heathens. Go ahead.
And sacrificed unto idols.
And did what?
And sacrificed unto idols.
And when you think about this today, this is the Christmas, the Easter, the birthdays, the port, the Democratic convention, the Republican convention. Now we're in their religion. Now we're joining white supremacy. Because remember, the key is to keep us in sin. Go ahead.
And profane the Sabbath.
And profane the Sabbath. Now you ask somebody what today is, they be like, I don't know. That's why the commandments say, what the commandments say? What's the first word in the Sabbath commandment? Remember. Because we was going to forget. Remember the Sabbath. This is why we forgot. Why they took our identity. That's why I say remember the Sabbath. You ask somebody what today is, Saturday. Brother say today, he said, what you mean, the date? The day? Said, according to God, brother. You got to be more specific, according to God, brother. Because to us, we just know automatic, Sabbath. We that's how lost our people is. White supremacy is strong. It's strong. Where we at? Let's go to video. Let's look at some Israelites that they fooled to trick us, that they used to trick us. Let's get scroll down. Scroll up. The first Al Sharpton right there. Look at it. Make sure it's shining out. This cone. This Al Sharpton is in white supremacy. He's pushing white supremacy. I got one of my friends. He always tell me, if somebody was back in the time of Martin Luther King in the 60s and 50s, and they didn't get killed, they was in white supremacy. Jesse Jackson was standing right next to Martin Luther King, damn near when he got shot. He's still alive. Why they ain't killed him yet if you was such an advocate for civil rights? They would have been killed you. Al Sharpton the same way. It ain't loading.
Hi, I'm Reverend Al Sharpton, an American for marriage equality. As a Baptist minister, I don't have the right to impose my beliefs on anyone else. So if committed gay and lesbian couples want to marry, that's their business. None of us should stand in their way. All of us must fight for what's fair and for what's right. Join me and the majority of Americans who support marriage equality.
Damn. Al Sharpton. It's the pastor, the Reverend, the Rev, talking like that. He said, help me and most of America, the majority of America, fight for marriage equality. The damn Reverend. That's a black man pushing white supremacy. He's pushing white supremacy because guess what? White supremacy is about what? Keeping us in sin. That's what it is. When you get deep into it, everything is it's at the detriment to other races. The number one was the gay marriage. Get Ezekiel 22 because he's supposed to be a reverend. He a pastor. How is he talking like that? Matter of fact, hold that. Get Psalms 94 and verse 16. Watch what God said. He said, because he said, who gonna stand up with me to fight with the majority of America? That's the same thing God said. Psalms 94 and 16.
Psalms chapter 94 and verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evil doer.
That's what Ralph was sounding like for the devil. Go ahead.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
So you see, that's the same thing he was saying, but for the other side. He's pushing for white supremacy. He said, who's gonna stand up and help us fight and join the majority of Americans? America is the definition of white supremacy. They got the worst history for white supremacy. You want us to join the oppressor for gay marriage? Damn. Let's get Ezekiel 22, because he a pastor. He's a white supremacist in black people. Ezekiel 22 and verse 24.
Ezekiel 22 and verse 24. Son of man, say unto her, thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her.
He said there is what?
There is a conspiracy of her prophets.
There is a conspiracy. What is the conspiracy? That white supremacy. He said there is a conspiracy in their prophets. Don't that sound like that man was paid off? That was a commercial. That boy, they just cut that man a check. What y'all call it? A bag. Al Sharpton got the bag. He looked like he sound like he just got paid. That's a conspiracy. That Al Sharpton, look, we need you. Just look, it is nothing. Just go on. It's a 40-second commercial. Look, read these lines. $100,000 check for you. $1 million check for you. Let's go and read this 40-second commercial. He took it. See, his parent was looking good. His parent was looking good in that commercial, wasn't it? He just got a check. Verse 25, that's a conspiracy.
Ezekiel 22 and verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls.
That's somebody trying to devour your soul. The Most I say, gay is an abomination. He said, help us fight for marriage equality. He trying to devour your soul. Go ahead.
They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law.
If you see that, Al Sharpton is violating the law. Go ahead.
And have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane.
Go ahead.
Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths.
Come on.
And I am profane among them. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravening the prey.
This talking about our own people, the people who's supposed to be the prophets, the priests, the pastors. Go ahead.
To shed blood and to destroy souls, to get dishonest gain.
To do what?
To get dishonest gain.
To get dishonest gain. That's what he wanted to do. He was trying, he got a check and he didn't want to get canceled. He need that church to be packed. He don't care who in there, as long as it's 1 billion people in here putting in the collection plate. Gay or straight. Go ahead.
And her prophets have dabbed with them untempered mortar, seeing vanity and divining lies.
And divining lies. Go ahead.
Unto them, saying, thus said the Lord
saying,
God.
The Lord God said this. Go ahead.
When the Lord has not spoken.
When the Lord have not spoken. Now it's going to talk about the people. Go ahead.
The people of the land have used oppression.
Now it's going into the white supremacy. The people of the land, they use oppression. What else?
And exercised robbery.
And exercise robbery. Go ahead.
And have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it. But I found none.
He said, I'm looking for somebody that's going to stand up for God. I found none. All the priests, all the pastors is going for a damn dishonest gain. White supremacy. Go to Jeremiah 11. Jeremiah 11 and verse 7.
Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 7. For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, rising early and protesting, saying, Obey my voice. Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear.
So they didn't listen. Go ahead.
But walked every one in the imagination of their evil heart.
So everybody walked on their own hearts. That's that doctrine of what everybody think is right in their own mind. That's how you live. That's that doctrine. Do you? Go ahead.
Therefore, I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do, but they did them not. And the Lord said unto me, a conspiracy.
A what?
A conspiracy.
A conspiracy, that white supremacy. Go ahead.
Is found among the man of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
So he said there's a conspiracy that's found among my people. What is this conspiracy supposed to do? Go ahead.
They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers.
So it said the conspiracy is making them go back to sin. That's what white supremacy is. White supremacy is supposed to make us go back to sin. That's why all the rap songs is full of murder, rape, robbery, all of that. The women is no clothes, twerk. What the song say?
Which one?
I'm a player, right? Which one? I'm a player like ain't no player. Woman can be players too. And it's got something go like that.
That's that. Yeah.
Woman can be players too. What the hell?
You talking about that Jay-Z?
That's what that is?
Dirt off your shoulders. Yeah.
Damn. That's a conspiracy. It make people go back to sin. Go, read that again, verse 10.
They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them.
You remember that Judah, where it said that if they sinned against their God, God will not help them. Not only will he not help us, he's going to send evil, more evil our way. That's why nothing is getting fixed in our communities. Because everybody is still in sin. And God is steady sending evil our ways. Look how many people got to get shot by the police for something to click in our people's mind. Guess what? The Most High gonna keep, it's not gonna stop. The man told the lady, I'm gonna shoot you in your effing face. And he did it. 5 seconds later, he did it. That's the Most High putting the spirit on them to do stuff like that, because that's supposed to wake us up. Some people get woke up. Some people got woke. I got woke up from a police shooting. Because it made me think. It made me do more research. It made me look on the internet more. It was the Mike Brown thing. They said celebrate the 10-year anniversary for that. That's what woke me up. The Sonya Massey. All these shoots, I guarantee that people is waking up from all these police shootings. I guarantee you. People go get woke up and find out, because people got to say, why? God, why? Why do this keep happening? Why are these people not getting any better? They training these cops. They training these cops. They just wicked. They just can't help themselves. So I'm going to shoot you in your effing face. And he did it. So the God is letting this stuff happen because we keep sinning. Read that again, verse 11.
Jeremiah 11 and verse 11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I'll bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape.
It said y'all ain't going to be able to escape these evils. Y'all not going to be able to escape this white supremacy. Go ahead.
And though they shall cry unto me,
and though y'all cry unto me, go ahead.
I will not hearken unto them.
I'm not going to hearken. Why? Why is he not going to hearken unto us? Hold this spot. Go to John 9 and 31. Why he's not going to listen to us? We cry. All our people, why, God? Why? Why? Why is he not going to hear us, though? John 9 and 31.
John chapter 9 and verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
Because we still in sin. Remember, Judah chapter 5. As long as they are in sin, their God will not help them. Esau know that. That's why he do things to keep us in sin. That's why the whole white Jesus doctrine is the laws is done away with. Jesus nailed it to the cross. Because they have to, as long as we are in sin, they stay in power. They get to stay in power. They know once we get out of sin, it's over for them. They know that. Read that again.
Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of God.
But if anybody be a worshiper of God, go ahead, the true God.
And doeth his will.
And do God's will.
Him he heareth.
That's who he hears. Let's get a precept to this. Proverbs 15 and 29.
Proverbs 15 and verse 29. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous.
You see that? He said he heard the prayer of the righteous. That's who he hears. Once imagine a nation full of all our black people, black Hispanics in America. Imagine if we was righteous and we praying to God. It'll be over for them. It'll be over for them. It's already, now we see it's a lot of people waking up to the nationality and the law and keeping the laws of God and the faith of Christ. It's been, when I came in, nobody heard of an Israelite. Even though it was in the Bible a million times, nobody heard of Israelite. Who the Israelites? Now, everybody got a relative that's an Israelite. Oh, my cousin right now. And you see what's going on? Y'all see what's going on in America? They fighting against them damn selves. You see it's getting worse for them. They stormed the White House. Or the Capitol or whatever. They stormed the Capitol. Because people is waking up and God is moving stuff. And think about it. How long can something wicked last? Because not only is white supremacy, it affects us the most, but guess what? They so wicked, it started to affect them. They own people. They so damn wicked, it's affecting their own people. You can't be this wicked and expect your kingdom to just last like this. You can't be that damn wicked. Go back to Jeremiah 11 and read verse 11 and 12.
Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I'll bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them.
Verse 12.
Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense.
He said, and that's what we do. We cry to white Jesus. We cry to Allah. We cry to Hindu. We cry to Santa Claus. We cry to Big Mama, Jay-Z, the celebrities, Trump, Biden. That's who we cry to. But he said, you know what? None of them is going to be able to save you. Y'all go cry to the gods that y'all sacrifice to. Big Mama got that white Jesus picture crying. Jesus, why? Crying. Don't even realize you crying to an idol. Read that again, verse 12.
Then shall the cities of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem go.
So it said the Israelites, they go and do what?
And cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense.
Y'all go cry to all these guys y'all serve. Y'all go cry to them, go ahead.
But they shall not save them.
But they not going to be able to save you. Because you crying to idols. Go ahead.
At all.
It's at all. Go ahead.
In the time of their trouble.
In the time of your troubles, white Jesus ain't going to be there. In the time of your troubles, Allah ain't going to be there. That cobblestone ain't going to be there. In the time of your troubles. They not going to be able to save you. That's why it seemed like that's why people are so hopeless today. We see our people in the street, they hopeless. They hopeless as hell out there. They hopeless as hell. Let's get some more. Go to let's look at this crafty counsel. Now, let's go to the video. Let's go to the video. Pull up let's look at this crafty counsel. Pull up the Nixon right here.
If you make at least 150 grand.
150 grand. Nigga, what you selling is ain't finna be good. How about if you make 150 grand? What you selling?
Trap music.
Cut it. Cut it.
It's known for its heavy bass, aggressive drums, and, if you're listening hard enough, trap music.
Cut it. Cut it.
It's known for its heavy
Look,
bass,
pause.
aggressive.
All our brothers and sisters right there supporting white supremacy. Those are white supremacists right there in them videos. They don't even know it. They are with white supremacy. Go ahead.
Drums, and, if you're listening hard enough, drugs.
I'm in love with the cocoa. I'll be in the kitchen cooking pies for my baby guy.
But here's what's interesting. Even though the faces of trap music are mostly young black men, drug problems cross all color lines and all class boundaries.
Now, if you picture a drug dealer in your mind, you're probably picturing some black kid standing on the street corner with his pants sagging. Plenty of drug dealing happens in the hood, but it happens everywhere else in America as well.
So why do we so strongly associate drugs with urban communities? Turns out this is not entirely by accident.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse.
When a wave of heroin use and drug-related crime hit big cities in the 1970s, leaders were desperate for answers, and President Nixon declared a war on drugs, initially focusing on it as a public health issue.
If we went after it as a health problem, I think in the long run, we'd get both a reduction in crime and a reduction in addiction rates.
Places like Baltimore had success helping users rehab with methadone clinics. But in places like New York, they caved to public fear and pressure and opted for policies of punishment.
We have more people incarcerated today in prison just for drug crimes than all of the people incarcerated in the year 1980.
But recently,
Pause that. He said that. So Nixon started this war on drugs because there was a epidemic going on drugs in the 1970s and 80s. It was an epidemic. Guess what? They started it. They brought the drugs in. Guess who was bringing the drugs in? The government, the army. It was coming from Vietnam. They was bringing it in. They started the epidemic. Well, why did they do that? They had what they call that what's it when the inside man snitch? What they call that? Not a rat. It's like a whistleblower. They had a whistleblower, a person that was working with Nixon in 1994. He became a whistleblower, and watch what he said. Watch what he said. Why they started the drugs and this so-called war on drugs. Let's see it.
94 quote from an aide to President Nixon.
Prison just for drug crimes and all of the people incarcerated in the year 1980.
But recently, a 1994 quote from an aide to President Nixon has surfaced claiming that the war on drugs had everything to do with race and politics. The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House.
So this is his quote. This is what the aide quoted on why they started it. Go ahead.
After that, had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. We knew we couldn't make it a race and politics. The Nixon campaign in 1968 and the Nixon White House after that had two enemies, the anti-war left and black people. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to be either against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. Now, 4 decades.
He said, our biggest enemies was the left, the anti-left, and black people. He said, but we couldn't just lock them up for being black or anti-left. So guess what? We had to associate black people with heroin and drugs. So that's why they started this big war on drugs, because it made them an excuse to come into our communities and just start locking people up. That's how they dismantled the Black Panthers. That's why they always dang, those brothers trying to start a revolution over there. How can we get them? All right, let's do this. They'll come knock you upside your head. Pop, sprinkle some crack on you. We found this nigga with some crack. 15 years in jail. He said most of the people that was in jail in 1980 was because of drug charges. Drug charges. They was putting drugs, they'll pull you over and plant drugs on you. And they was locking people up. That's that white supremacy. This all the crafty council. They couldn't just say, hey, we're gonna lock you up for being black. We're gonna start a war on drugs. And it came out. Go ahead.
Later, the way we tell the story is starting to shift.
Even more surprising may be the face of the new addicts.
Heroin and opioid use is skyrocketing, killing off mostly young white Americans. And with that, there's a push to see drug abuse for the disease that it really is.
I went to a
pause it. Now it backfired on them. Now the Edomites is on the drugs now. They didn't expect that. Our hatred for us is so strong, they don't even think of the effect it's gonna have on them, on themselves. Look at what he say. Go ahead.
Small private school, and I used to be an all-star athlete.
Government officials are admitting that we have too many people in prison for nonviolent drug offenses.
It's not normal.
And many leaders are declaring the so-called war on drugs, which has cost more than $1 trillion, a major failure. So now that we know better, start supporting policies that help people cope with the root of addiction and a cycle of selling that's the real trap.
So stop sharing that. So now we know what? Our people who sell drugs, all our people out, these drug dealers and all them, guess what? They in white supremacy. That's where it came from. It was a crafty council of white supremacy. And guess who they used? They used our own people. The Nino Browns, and we watch those movies today. BMF. All that stuff. We love it. Not knowing, look, this is how they tore us down. And them people, they was killing our people. People was ODing, families breaking up, all types of stuff. Snowfall, one of them shows. All them shows is big, but them shows is true. They brought them drugs over here to make it easy for them to disrupt our communities and lock us up. To anybody that was revolutionary, they'll just plant drugs on them, lock them up. Lock them up. That's how the Black Panthers died. And it's still going on today. And it's so bad today, the people's promoting in the songs, in the raps. That's why you really got to be careful what you're listening to. Let's get that. What scripture we finna get? Go ahead. Good job. Let's get it. Let's get it. The young boys. The young bulls. 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. We ain't going to be deceived by white supremacy.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
That's evil communication. They sitting up here promoting white supremacy. We see why they brought the drugs over. They had a whistleblower. He done snitched on them. We know exactly why all our grandparents, mothers was crackheads and all this stuff. It was Nixon. But yeah, we still in rap videos. Talking about lean and all this stuff. Promoting it. That's the white supremacy in black people. They pushing it and don't even damn know it. Our people is, let's get to Hosea 4 and 6. No, Jeremiah 4 and 22. Jeremiah 4 and 22.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4 and verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children.
They are sottish means simple, stupid. Go ahead.
And they have none understanding.
They have no understanding. All these rap songs, all this, go ahead.
They are wise to do evil.
They are what?
They are wise to do evil.
Said they are wise to do evil. Go ahead.
But to do good?
But to do good, they what?
They have no knowledge.
They have no knowledge to do good. Yeah, that's a precept. Let's read it real quick. Hosea 4 and 6.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
They will also reject thee. I will reject you. Go ahead.
That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
He said, I'm going to forget your children. Go to Isaiah 42. They used the drug epidemic to get our people hooked. The people who were selling drugs, they got hooked to the money, selling it to their own people. And then they started locking them up. Isaiah 42 and verse 21.
Isaiah 42 and verse 21.
Let's look at the prophecy.
The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
Go ahead.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
So he said the Lord want to magnify his law. He make the laws honorable. But this people is robbed and spoiled. Go ahead.
They are all of them snared in holes.
They are trapped in holes. Go ahead.
And they are hid in prison houses.
And they are hid where?
In prison houses.
They are hid in prison houses. They in the jail. Nixon plan worked. He locked them all up. That's how you disrupt the community. Oh, anybody that got that revolutionary spirit, sprinkle a little crack on them. Who had that joke? That's Dave Chappelle. He had that joke. Said the man called the police, said he broke into his own house. He said walked into his house, knocked him aside his head. Boop! It's like this man broke into this house and seemed to put pictures of himself on the wall. Oh, well, let's get out of here. Sprinkle a little crack on him. They was putting crack on people, man. They do it today, but now guess what? Now since their people is on it more, Now the laws are lenient. The laws are lenient because guess what? The people, they people used to do the cocaine. It ain't time for questions. But what you guys go? What you gonna see? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's read what that say. Titus 2:6. What that say? The sober-minded. Yeah. Good precept. Let's read it. Let's read it for the young bull. The young bull said, "Do that go the drugs? Doing the drugs? Do that go against Titus 2:6?" Yep. Let's read it.
The book of Titus.
Yeah, y'all writing these down? Highlighting them in y'all Bible? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get that.
The book of Titus, chapter 2, and verse 6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded.
That's right. They all these rappers, I'm on that lean. I love that coke. That's what he said. It said, read it again.
Titus 2 and verse 6. Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded.
So exhort to be sober-minded. Was that it?
Look at verse 7.
Go ahead.
In all things, showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity.
Oh, pray. That's a good precept.
It is. The reason I wanted to read that too, because it is a good precept. Because if you seek to please God, to live a righteous life, you won't be caught up in any mess.
Right.
They can't plant nothing on you because you innocent. So if you exhort to be sober-minded, exhort to do God's will, anything they put on you is a lie, and God got you. That's all I want.
Yeah, that's who he gonna fight for. He gonna fight for his righteous evildoers. No weapon shall prosper against you. Not even white supremacy. Go back to Isaiah 42. Let's finish 22. Isaiah 42 and 22.
Isaiah 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
And none say restore. It's a bunch of people that's locked up for weed charges that's now it's legal now. That's crazy. Now it's legal. But it's crazy. Let's get a video. Go back to the videos. Our people pushing down drugs. All these drug dealers, man, they ain't doing nothing. That's white supremacy. You a coon. You a coon. You fell right under Nixon plan. You are still pushing Nixon plan. 70 years later. All right, let me see. Scroll down. I got a treat. Look, get the baptism going wrong. I did this. This ain't got nothing. Class. This has a treat for y'all. This is so because we talked the last time. I think the last class I did. Pause. I meant to get this in the last class when we dealt about the doctrines of devils. So this the Catholic priest. Man, stop letting these Catholic priests. I'm gonna talk to the Edomites. Stop letting these Catholic priests touch y'all babies, man. This is what happened. Play this. This sharing out. This is just a treat for y'all. I ain't got nothing to do with today. Baby getting baptized.
Wesley David.
Move that thing. Move the arrow.
I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
All right, let's get all that. Hey. Let these priests touch you.
Hell no. To the no. Yeah, to the no.
Catholic priests, man. Water probably cold as hell on that baby. The baby tried to get away, tried to run. That was just a tree. All right. They ain't had nothing to do with class. All right, what are we looking at? Let me see. Which one we wanted? Scroll down, scroll down. All right, get that Camilla Harris. Scroll up. Shout out to Pink Book
With a daddy boy.
Go to the beginning. Pink Book lessons be on their head.
All right, we got to talk about the Kamala campaign rally in Atlanta. John Ossoff's little cousin was down there going crazy over Not Like Us. I guess no one gave him the memo either.
Make some noise for Miss Harris, our future president. Let's get this done, Atlanta. Let me come over here and talk to y'all. Because the real savage is gonna get on their vote. I'm savage. Better too nasty.
I couldn't be more excited to welcome a fellow HBCU alum back to the beautiful city of Atlanta.
So it's only right in the birthplace of the culture. It's also the same place to launch the first African-American woman to run for president.
When the hell do Quavo ever say something about politics ever? Ever in his raps, interviews? Our people, they just get anybody that black people think that they think black people want to see. This whole thing had nothing to do with politics, with somebody about to be president. If you just didn't know what was going on, you wouldn't know this is about somebody trying to be a president. You wouldn't have no idea this is about somebody trying to get elected as the president of the United States of America. Go ahead.
I'm so happy to be here, Atlanta. We're about to make history with the first female president. The first black female president. Let's get this done, Hottie. Hottie for Harris.
Kamala the cosplaying chameleon, who was selected and not elected as the presidential Democratic nominee, ran to Atlanta because she needed a check balance.
2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you. This is the real challenge.
She was popping up in other towns with just a few hundred people in the audience. I saw one that was so empty. Word is she was mad because only 60 people showed up. So yeah, Kamala the cosplaying chameleon. She went to Atlanta to get the check balance.
Oh, it's good to be back in Georgia.
Yeah, went to Atlanta to cosplay for more votes.
And please give it up for Quavo and Megan.
Surprised y'all not keeping that same energy though. We've been hearing the smash Black American hit for 4 months. Not Like Us.
Quavo said.
All right. So now, get some Rock 13, man. Like, she got Megan and Quavo to speak. What the hell do they got to do with politics? What policies are you, what is going on? She trying to get the black vote that bad. She basically had a concert and a famous rapper come up and say something. Let's see why she had that rapper. Go to Sirach 13 and 23.
Sirach 13 and verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue.
That's why. When a rich man speak, everybody listen. That's why she had him up there. Go ahead.
And look what he saith.
And everybody look to what he say. Go ahead.
They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
So you see that? This is why they got these, that's why they have celebrities as the spokespeople for black people, because that's who black people listen to. Black people only listen to celebrities and who they deem is, give me a word, youngins. Who they deem is hot. What's the word for hot these days? Lit. Who they deem is lit. There we go. I'm trying to attract the younger audience.
Hell no. Tell her no.
Who they deem lit. Like, is this woman, she just lost all her white voters with this thing here. She just lost all her. They like, what the hell is she doing? Even if they did want to vote with her, that she just lost them. The hell? You trying to win the popular vote. Popular vote don't get you the precedence. Trump know that. All right, let's get some more. Go to go back to the videos. What else was up there? Let's go to the video. Go to the list. Was that it? Let me see. All right, yeah. So go to the next one under that. Yeah, right there. It's sharing out. All right. So let's watch it, because it said when the rich man speak, people listen. So guess what? That means when the rich man say the truth, they get mad. Because they know when the rich man speak, everybody gonna pay attention. So when the rich man says the truth, we own them. Let's watch this.
If there was just some dude on the street corner saying what Kyrie said or Kanye said, you just assume they're crazy and keep on walking, right?
Right.
But when they're a celebrity, you can't do that because you have a platform, and so people pay attention.
That's what we just read in Sirach. So when these celebrities speak truth, they get penalized. They get canceled. We gotta be the spokesman for them. Let's play this.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real life. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Now, I want your thoughts as far as on the business of basketball. We look at a situation like Kyrie Irving. Mind you, basketball is a business where there's owners, bosses, employees. Then you see a situation where, what's going on with Kyrie. For those who might not understand at home and think that, things are supposed to go away. What is the business of basketball when it comes to ownership, bosses, employees, as far as the rules and regulations?
It's like any other business, If somebody says something that's racist or anti some religion, you're going to have to address it, because he's not the only person that works there.
Right.
And you've all had to deal with it in your life. I'm Jewish. I've had to deal with anti-Semitism. People didn't know I'm Jewish and talking shit right when I'm in the room. And it's just getting into fights when I was a kid, all that stuff. And,
pause it. I want y'all to know he said he's Jewish. He's Jewish. Note that. All right. Go ahead.
It's not acceptable. But at the same time, like I had this conversation with somebody, if there was just some dude on the street corner saying what Kyrie said or Kanye said, you just assume they're crazy and keep on walking, right?
Right.
But when they're a celebrity, you can't do that because you have a platform, and so people pay attention. I can't speak to Kanye. I don't think Kyrie is got a bad heart, right? But I think he's definitely not educated about the impact it has, and that's just part of the process. I don't think he's one of those guys that would be in Charlottesville marching, chanting "Jews will not replace us." I don't think that's him. But I think, he's got a lot to learn. As a white guy, I've said things that I probably shouldn't have said.
You see what he did? You see how they always try to separate Jewish and white people? He just called himself both of them, didn't he? First he said he was Jewish, then he said, I'm a white guy. You remember when we talked to people, we talked to the white dude on the street? We asked him what color was Christ. He was Jewish. Was he white? No, he was Jewish. You see, that's the mind games, that's the white supremacy that they try to play with us. Because they know if you call somebody Jewish, you're really what? You still calling them white. And he just proved it. He called himself. He said, I'm Jewish earlier in this 2-minute interview, and then he turned around and said, I'm white. So that's the mind trick that when they try to say, well, Jesus wasn't white, he was Jewish. We know that's the same thing. Guess what? They do too. He just called his damn self. Rewind it 5 seconds. They think they slick, man. That's white supremacy right there. Play it.
But I think, he's got a lot to learn. As a white guy, I've said things that I probably shouldn't have said, and I learned, right? People correct me, and that's part of learning different cultures and learning to deal with different people. And, we all make mistakes and we all learn from it. And I hope Kyrie does the same thing.
So that's that white supremacy. So guess what? That Christianity, that's white supremacy. That white Jesus, that's white supremacy. We got it on video. Go to our page. Let's share it. Go to our page. Go to our page. Let's show it. Let's show exactly what they tried to do. Go to videos. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Right there on the right. Scroll down. Jesus right there. Play that from the beginning.
Was dark. So when you see that Christ was a dark-skinned man from the tribe of Judah, what does his people look like?
Hey man, it says in the Bible Jesus wasn't white or
black. Hold on,
he was a Jew.
What was his color? What did his...
But now you see the craftiness. He said Jesus wasn't white or black. He was a Jew. That's the same thing as saying white. That's white supremacy at its finest right there. We just seen a Jewish man call himself what? White. They try to separate it, but we ain't going for it. Keep playing.
His people look like. I'll talk to you later, but don't just interrupt. That was rude.
He wasn't white or black.
That was rude,
This is the fourth time I've heard it, and it's not true.
I'll deal with you, but first let me deal with him.
I don't deal with anything that's false, so I need.
All right, then why you come up? Like, you see, give me John Matthew 4. It's eating him up that we teaching that Christ is black.
Right.
He said he's not white nor black. Then what color is he?
Right.
The Jew. What color? Give me Jeremiah 14 and 2.
All right, go ahead. We can stop. I had so many things going through my head. He said he wasn't white nor black. He was a Jew. But we just seen a Jewish man call himself what? White. That's white supremacy. That's that craftiness. That's that craftiness, but we ain't going for it in 2024. We ain't going for that white supremacy. He didn't have to come up and say nothing to it. We weren't even talking to him. We weren't even talking to him. That's that crafty. He's not white. He's not black. He's a Jew, because they know in everybody's head the Jews is white. That's how they do the crafty council. That's white supremacy at its finest. All right, go back. Let's get 2 Maccabees 6. We just got a couple more. I think I'll play. Let me scroll down. Well, let's see what Kyrie Irving did. Play that real quick. Because we were talking about Kyrie Irving some people I know what he did. So let's show what Kyrie Irving actually did that had them talking about him.
FBI is warning tonight of a credible broad threat to synagogues in New Jersey. The state's governor says he's working with law enforcement to make sure houses of worship are protected. It comes amid a wave of anti-Semitism in the U.S. We get the latest from CBS's Michael George.
I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light.
Tonight, Kyrie Irving on the defensive again.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Speaking to reporters today, the Brooklyn...
You know what he was saying? He was saying, I can't be anti-Semitic because I am Semitic. That's what he's saying. If I know where I come from. So now we're talking about they're mad at him because he's speaking the truth. Remember, it said when a rich man speak, everybody listen. So they like, so the first guy, he said, look, his platform is too big. He's reaching too many people with the truth. And what was he talking about? He was saying that we are the Israelites. They can't have that. Oh, that's anti-Semitic. Rewind it a little bit.
Make sure houses of worship are protected. It comes amid a wave of anti-Semitism in the U.S. We get the latest from CBS's Michael George.
I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light.
Tonight, Kyrie Irving on the defensive again.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Speaking to reporters today, the Brooklyn Nets star again refused to apologize for posting a link to an anti-Semitic film which denies the Holocaust and falsely blames Jews for slavery.
You guys are asking me respectfully to speak on something that was a documentary that I had nothing to do with. I didn't make it. Just because I posted a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic.
On Wednesday, the Nets announced the team and Irving would each donate $500,000 to anti-hate groups. But so far, he's faced no disciplinary action. Today, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who's Jewish himself, said he's disappointed that Irving, quote, has not offered an unqualified apology and more specifically denounced the vile and harmful content contained in the film he chose to publicize. No stranger to controversy, Irving has promoted conspiracy theories in the past, pushing fringe ideas to his millions of followers.
Because of the influence he has, the platform he has.
All right, so well, play that, what he's about to say.
Yes. I can imagine.
Has promoted conspiracy theories in the past, pushing fringe ideas to his millions of followers.
Because of the influence he has, the platform he has. I can imagine that, thousands or hundreds of thousands of people even might be looking into what's in this movie or its ideas.
You heard that? That's why they mad. He said it's too many people. Now they looking into what he posted. Now they go find out. Remember, as long as we don't keep the laws of God, they can rule over us. How do they stop us from keeping the laws of God? They took our identity. As long as we don't know our identity, we will keep breaking God's laws. So whenever somebody push that, we got to cancel them. We got to fine them. We got to do whatever. And that's what they do. That's white supremacy right there. That's white supremacy. Now, let's look at white supremacy in black people in the scriptures. Go to 2 Maccabees 6. 2 Maccabees 6, and we're going to start at 18. They tried to get one of our forefathers to commit white supremacy, and he wasn't going for it.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth.
So they tried to force him to eat pork, and he spit it out. Go ahead.
And came of his own accord to the torment.
So they said, I ain't going to eat this pork. Y'all just going to have to kill me, torture me, and kill me. I'm not going to eat pork. It goes against God's laws. Let's see what happened. Go ahead.
as it behooved them to come, that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tested.
It said that's not lawful for me to even taste that. Go ahead.
But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside.
So they said, so they took him to the side. Go ahead.
Besought him to bring flesh of his own provision.
They said, so they took him to the side and said, you know what, Eleazar? Bring what you want to bring. Bring some lawful meat. Bring some steak. Bring something that's lawful to you. Go ahead.
Such as was lawful for him to use.
So they say, bring some meat that you can eat. Go ahead.
And make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
And act like it is pork. So they told him basically to fool the people, deceive the people. Look, don't look, just they trying to make him be in white supremacy. They trying to Al Sharpton him. That look, that you can bring something that's lawful, but just eat it when you eat it in front of the people, act like it is pork. Go ahead.
That in so doing, he might be delivered from death.
And we not gonna torture you no more. We not gonna kill you if you do this. Go ahead.
And for the old friendship with them and find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law, made and given by God.
So he said his education from the child was the holy law given from God. Go ahead.
Therefore he answered accordingly, and wiled them straightway to send him to the grave.
He said he willed them to, hey, send me to the grave. I'm not finna eat no damn pork. And then trick the people to think I am. So let's send me to the grave. Go ahead.
For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10.
So he was 90 years old. Go ahead.
Were now gone to a strange religion.
So he said everybody, so you want me to act like I'm eating pork, and all these young people that look up to me go think I'm in a strange religion. Go think I'm in idolatry because I'm eating from the king's sacrifices. That's what you want me to do. All these young people that look up to me, you want me to trick them. This is the same thing Al Sharpton should have been saying. Al Sharpton took the deal. He took the bag. Go ahead.
And so they, through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me.
He said, and if I do this, they gonna be deceived by me. I'm already 90. How long you think I'm gonna live? Go ahead.
And I get a stain to mine old age and make it abominable.
And I'm gonna lose the kingdom. I've been righteous my whole life since I was a child. And you want me to lose the kingdom for this? He like, nah, hell nah. All that 90 years of righteousness go out the window when you sin. Go ahead.
For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men.
So if I do this, I'm gonna escape your punishment of y'all killing me or tormenting me. Go ahead.
Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty.
But I'm not gonna escape God. I can't escape God if I do this. Go ahead.
Neither alive nor dead. Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such a one as mine age requires.
And do what?
And leave a notable example to such as be young, to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment.
He said, hell no, I ain't taking that deal. I'm not finna participate in white supremacy. I'm not finna trick the people. Guess what? Quavo took that deal. Meg Thee Stallion took that deal. Jay-Z took that deal. Your best rapper took that deal. Sexy Red took that deal. Every drug dealer that's walking around took that deal. Every woman walking around naked took that deal. Everybody that goes against God's laws and teach others to do so with their example is in white supremacy. That's what it is. If you teach people to break God's laws, if you teach Israelites to break God's laws, you are teamed up with white supremacy because that's their whole plan. Why you think everything they do is about wickedness? Is about breaking God's law? It's so we will break them. It's so we will break them. Nothing happened if they break them. But when we break them, we stay in captivity. Jump to verse 31.
Verse 31. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation.
But unto all his nation. So this was an example of our forefathers denying white supremacy. Now let's get an example of our forefather that accepted white supremacy. Go to John chapter 13. John chapter 13 and verse 21.
John chapter 13 and verse 21. When Jesus had thus said, he was troubled in spirit and testified and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me.
So Christ knew one of them was going to betray him. Go ahead.
Then the disciples looked one on another, doubting of whom he spake.
They was wondering who he talking about. Who going to betray Christ, the master? Go ahead.
Now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved.
Go ahead.
Simon Peter, therefore, beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake.
So Peter asked him for the inside word. Go ahead.
He then, lying on Jesus' breast, saith unto him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, He it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon.
So Judas Iscariot was in white supremacy. He took the deal. He took the bag. He took the Al Sharpton deal. Go ahead.
And after the sop, Satan entered into him.
After he stopped, Satan immediately entered into Judas. There's people who take that white supremacy deal, Satan entered into them. All our people that's in white supremacy, that's a damn devil. That's Satan. Go ahead.
Then said Jesus unto him, that thou doest, do quickly.
So Christ said, I know what you're going to do. Go ahead and do it quickly. Go ahead.
Now no man at the table knew for what intent he spake this unto him. For some of them thought, because Judas had the bag, that Jesus said unto him, buy those things that we have need of against the feast, or that he should give something to the poor.
So they thought Judas was about to go prepare for the feast for Passover. Go ahead.
He then, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was night.
And so he went out. He went out to took the deal. Let's see what he got for betraying Christ. Go to Matthew 26 and read 14. What did he get for taking the deal? For joining white supremacy? Matthew 26 and 14.
Matthew chapter 26 and 14. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests,
go ahead,
and said unto them, what will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And
so the chief priests, these is other Israelites that's in white supremacy. Go ahead.
And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver.
He got 30 pieces of silver for that. 30 pieces. That was the bag. Go ahead. The Al Sharpton deal. Go ahead.
And from that time, he sought opportunity to betray him.
And from that time, he sought opportunity to betray him. So we just had two quick examples of someone that denied white supremacy and someone that accepted it. Someone that accepted it. Now let's close it on out with the reason that people take these deals, and the reason that our people is falling to white supremacy is they don't understand judgment. They'll see the Michael Browns, the Trayvon Martins, the neighborhoods, the Kamala Harris Democratic Party with twerking, and they'll see all this stuff and don't understand what's going on. The 80% of children born out of wedlock, that's white supremacy too. Abortion, white supremacy. All this stuff, white supremacy. We look at this stuff and they don't understand what's going on. Let's see why. Go get Proverbs 28 and 5. Proverbs 28 and 5.
Proverbs 28 and verse 5. Evil men understand not judgment.
They don't understand the judgments. They don't understand the Sonia Maxey shootings. They don't understand what's going on. They think we can vote ourselves out of this hatred that these people have for us. We can't vote ourselves out of oppression using the system that they set up. Do that even make sense? They set it up to oppress us. We've been voting for how long? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. The only thing what's gonna work is you have to understand judgment. You have to understand why things are happening. And it's because of sin. It's because of sin. Stop sinning. People will rather try everything but change. They'd rather try anything that will prevent them from having a change. Let's do that first. Just change. Read that again.
Proverbs 28 and 5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things.
But they that seek the Lord understand all things. Once you understand this Bible, the Bible give us the answers of why we are under white supremacy. Go to Psalms 37. It's because our people don't understand judgment. Psalms 37 and verse 30 for a precept.
Psalms chapter 37 and verse 30. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom.
It say the mouth of the righteous, they always speak wisdom. What do they talk about? Go ahead.
And his tongue talketh of judgment.
And his tongues talk about judgment. That's what we talk about all day, every day when we warning people, when we rebuking people, when we correcting people. It's teaching them about judgment. We know about judgment. That's what Dave Chappelle, that joke he said when he said the people in jail, they can tell you exactly how much time you gonna get for doing something. They say you better not do that. That's 3 to 5. Don't steal that car. That's grand larceny. That's 5 to 10. Why? Because they didn't been judged through Esau's court. But God's judgment, our people don't understand that. They just think God knows my heart because they thinking about white Jesus. They thinking about a whole nother God. Go to 2 Maccabees 6. This is what we see. When we see these things going on in the world, the rappers, the drug dealers, the naked women. We seen a lady looking crazy as hell today. She was naked, damn near, pretty much. Like she about to go swim. It ain't that damn hot outside. Damn. When we see that stuff, this is what we understand. 2 Maccabees 6 and 12.
Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book.
So he's letting us know the people that read this Bible, the people that read this book, go ahead.
That they be not discouraged for these calamities.
So he said, don't be discouraged for the shootings, the black on black crime, the Sonia Massey's, the Trayvon Martins. Don't be discouraged when you see these. Go ahead.
But that they judge those punishments.
But you got to judge these punishments. Go ahead.
Not to be for destruction.
So these punishments, the stuff that we seeing our people go through, it's not to destroy us. But what?
But for a chastening of our nation.
It's chastisement of our nation. That's what it is, chastisement for sin. We understand that. We understand it's not, we see these things and we like, the Lord is not trying to destroy us. He's chastising our nation for sin. That's what we got to understand. Go to Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54 and verse 7. White supremacy not going to last because our people is waking up.
Isaiah 54 and verse 7. For a small moment have I forsaken thee.
He said, for a small moment I've forsaken you. It's only a small moment. So the people online, the people here that's going through something, it's for a small moment. If you go through something that's as bad as you think it is now, guess what? You better get full advantage out of it and learn something from it. This is God just forsaking you for a small moment. It's called chastisement, punishment, judgment. Read that again.
For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee.
But I'm going to gather you back with mercy. Go ahead.
In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, said the Lord, thy Redeemer.
He said, just in a little wrath I hid my face from you. But if you get yourself together, if you get yourself out of sin, I'm going to show you that those great mercies that I promised you in his word. He do not slack concerning his promise. That's what we got to understand. Let's get a couple more. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 2. We see this, we see these things, and we know why. We see the shootings. We see the police shootings and everything that's going on, but we understand why. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 2.
Wisdom of Solomon 12 and verse 2. Therefore, chastenest thou them by little and little that offend.
So he said, those that offend, those that sin, I'm going to chasten them little by little. The stuff you go through is small because God haven't killed you yet. So he said, I'm going to chastise you little by little. Those of you that's still stuck in sin. Go ahead.
And warnest them by putting them in remembrance.
He said, I'm going to warn you by putting my word in remembrance. Remember, he said, if you bethink yourself, remember who you are. That's the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is supposed to give you that remembrance. Go ahead.
Wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness.
That if you leave your wickedness, go ahead.
They may believe on me, O Lord.
That you may believe. If you leave your wickedness, that's how you grow your faith. As long as you stay in your wickedness, your faith gonna be non-existence. Go to Amos 9 and 9, then we go close it on up. Amos 9 and 9.
Amos chapter 9 and verse 9. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
So he said, I'm gonna get my people. Go ahead.
All the sinners of my people.
But all the sinners of my people, go ahead.
Shall die by the sword.
It's gonna die by the sword. all the sinners of my people, y'all go die. It's that God hates the sin and loves the sinner. No. The sinner's going to die. You're going to die. Go ahead.
Which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
So that's our class for today. That's that all white supremacy and black people. Everybody that's pushing sin, promoting sin, trying to get our people to sin, you're in white supremacy. Because they know, well, let's get one more. First Esdras 6 and 9. It might be second. Oh, let me look at it. Yeah, second Esdras 6 and 9.
Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
So Esau is the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And Jacob
is the Israelites. Go ahead.
Is the beginning of it that follows.
So Esau, once this kingdom is over, the kingdom is ours next through Christ. Christ is going to take the kingdom. So he said Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of the one to come next. So we got to understand that this white supremacy, we see it fading. We see it's going down. They fighting themselves. Wickedness cannot last, and lies cannot last. Truth always wins. As long as they try to hide the truth, it's gonna come out. God's word is gonna come out, and it's been coming out, and it's getting stronger and stronger. So, all praise to the Most High. I pray that edification went out. We got a little history. We got prophecy. We got examples. Hopefully, y'all go back, do more diligent on the stuff, the nits and stuff, and all the stuff, and look at this white supremacy stuff, and be able to see it when you out in the world. That's the main thing about these classes is see it. You can see it in everything you do. When you at school, young bucks, young bulls. When y'all at school, y'all should be able to see white supremacy. When they tell y'all to put y'all hand on the paper and draw their turkey for Thanksgiving, you should say white supremacy. That's the detriment of the so-called Indians, your own people. So you got to be able to see that in our lives. So all praise to the Most High. Let's do the shout outs and then get Matthew 26.
Test. Hi, shout out Tiffany Gordon. She said, Shabbat Shalom, family, and all praise to the Most High in Christ for allowing us to see another one.
All praise, sis.
Shabbat Shalom, Dresky. Said salute.
Salute, Dresky. Shalom, brother.
Shabbat Shalom, MJ. Said, Shalom, happy Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom, Letitia Smith. She said, Shalom, family.
Shalom, sis. How you doing?
Shalom to myself. I said shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Ahab Bayar, the warrior.
Read it. You got
He said, Shalom, brother and sister.
Shalom, brother. How you doing?
He said the mistreatment of the other nations at a high level is going to bring us back together.
All praises. That's right.
Bring it out.
Yeah. Talk about holiday.
I thought the point of baptism was to cleanse you from your sins. That's a whole baby that hasn't committed any sin.
You know that baby.
Said Deuteronomy 17 and 15.
Yeah, that's about the voting. All praise.
They already know who's going to be in office next. At this point, they just making mockery out of us. It's all to show us, it's always showing the world how stupid the children of God are.
Oh yeah, all praise.
I already know, like camps say in the fourth time. Shabbat Shalom, Jasmine Brooks. She said, Shalom, Most High in Christ be with you all. Happy Sabbath.
Shalom, sis. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Letitia Smith, she said, all praise to the Most High. Great class, brothers.
All praise, sis. All praise.
Shabbat Shalom. Jay, he said, Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Happy Sabbath.
Shalom, shalom, Jay. Is that it?
I believe that's all.
All praises, yeah. All praises. All praise to everybody online. Want to give another all praise to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel. I want to say, well, before we do that, let's get Matthew 26. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get Matthew 26.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26, starting at verse 6. Now when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman, having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for a memorial of her.
So all praises for that commandment. We got to give that shout out to Mary Magdalene, our foremother. She was a great example of repentance. And so much Christ gave her that memorial. So once again, all praise to the Most High. Shout out, peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that's keeping the commandments and the faith of Christ and scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I pray for the men, women, and children that haven't been awoke to this truth yet. Do your research. Keep watching. Keep studying. Keep praying. The Most give wisdom freely. It's free. It's free knowledge. Knowledge of self. You can overcome those demons. You can overcome your sin. I'm in a room full of people that are examples of that. So all praise. We want to see y'all here with us. So lock in with us. Y'all can contact us at Children of the Promise Ministries at gmail.com. TikTok is COTP underscore. Is that right? Underscore St. Louis. COTP St. Louis. All our social media. Contact us. Lock down with us. Touch down with us. And with that, we say shalom and happy Sabbath.